Good morning, and I kind of look like a wet dog, and I'm okay with that. I didn't hit my hair with any heat, and for those of you who don't know, I have mildly curly hair. And some days, maybe once a year, you'll see it like this. But all right, you guys, so I'm on my way to the farm. I pretty much am done with all my errands in town. But one thing I wanted everybody to know is make sure that you turn your notifications on for today. We are going to be going through basically all of the unsold ready to ship horses, as well as all of the unsold horses that I'm considering cataloging. I put a couple of horses up yesterday and people started inboxing saying, oh my God, I'm so in love with that black horse. I never saw him advertised. Somebody else was like, oh, that dun horse, I just love him. I didn't know he was registered. Well, they've been on my Facebook page for a month. So I think that what is starting to happen is that my algorithm has grown to where you guys kind of only get to see what Facebook allows you to see. So I just want to remind everybody that our platform is a little bit different. While I am live and you might see some of my live videos, we do lots of live videos. So if you're only seeing me once a day or once a week or once, you're going to have to actually search out my content because it means that Facebook is shadow banning me. And we've actually been in an active shadow ban, and they last about 6 months, and it was right after Christmas that I got shadow banned. The way a shadow ban works, for those of you who don't know, because there was some trolls on here that kind of argued that I wasn't in a shadow ban, and I just laugh because I always wonder, like, what reward is there for people that wake up and try to, like, just debunk people's life? Like, I don't know. It's just, but anyway, right after Christmas, we got notification that our page was being limited, and my monetization had grown really big in October, November, December, really big. So there was kind of a split to where, was I being shadow banned because people were really reporting my page, or was I being shadow banned because anytime your monetization grows to where we were hitting like just tons of star parties. I got a $10,000 bonus from Facebook for the growth of videos, and they had like a bonus going. I also received a $40 per person that joined my Wild Tribe After Hours group, and we had about 250 people join. And so we just had been really killing it on, really, I mean, I had really been killing it, for sure, on the Facebook bonus money. Anyway, we basically hit the $10,000 bonus in December for the growth of my group. We hit the $10,000 bonus, for my commercial monetization, and it was fantastic. That money went to good use. As you can see that my facility has kind of changed. The dynamics have changed a little bit, which has been fantastic. But we just kind of hit a lot of bonus money in a short amount of time, and we were hitting a lot of star parties. And then when I received notification that my page was being limited and that it was a 6 months limitation, I appealed it, and I also wrote in to try to understand why. And it just said that Facebook withholds the right to limit any monetized page to see if it is natural growth or paid growth. So what that means is that Facebook said, hey, you're growing really fast. You're basically getting a lot of bonus money, and now we're going to throw you into the Hunger Games, and we're going to see, is this growth because you create good content, or, there's lots of bot accounts, there's lots of ways to pay for Facebook monetization, not to pay for Facebook monetization, I'm sorry, for Facebook growth, but not in the way that I was growing. Like, I don't have the ability to pay 250 people to join a group. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool, I'm not that cool. So what we have seen is that our page has plateaued due to the shadow ban. The goals that Facebook set during a shadow ban is like a 2% growth rate. It's called natural growth. We've still managed to grow at a 5% rate. However, my monetization took a really big hit, and then I started to really kind of get depressed. And I had been struggling through the winter with a little bit of depression, and I've never been a depressed person, so this is something that I'm going to speak on lightly because I don't know what people who struggle with clinical depression experience, because that has not been me my whole life. But I can tell you from someone who started struggling in right about the time that it was shadow banned through here recently, it is not a joke. It is just not a joke. It is not a joke to wake up and not feel good about yourself or anything around you. Now, a little bit of that obviously comes because every time I turn around, I have people on social media who are just ugly. That's just... And as we grow, and every time we start to grow, it starts the negativity, because growth means new people. New people mean there are people that find us that are trolls. So it happens. I'm okay with it. But my Tara Michelle Sanders page is not shadow banned, and I see so much hate on that page from people because it's not shadow banned, and the growth over there is at a little bit faster rate than this page. And I just see lots of like negative comments about my weight, the way I talk. And people think that being a Facebook creator, you know, oh man, that would be really great, and to make money from just creating content on social media. But it comes with a lot of people that talk about things that they know nothing about. I mean, I bet that I get called a fat ass at least 5 times a day on social media. Okay. You know, the main thing that people don't understand and have not made any effort to try to understand is the dynamics of my facility. They just know that horses go to slaughter, and I receive, and this is not a joke, 2 to 3 messages a day on that page from people that say they're going to kill me. They're going to destroy me. They're going to burn my house down. And they're just extreme crazy people on social media, and they're like, fuck you, horse killer, you sorry bitch, I'm burning your house down. And I'm like, okay, you must be new here. And I go through waves to where I handle it really good, because I just know that it's social media and it's not real, and people can say anything, do anything, act any way they want on social media, and it's okay. But I will say that when I got shadow banned on this main page, that did really kind of affect me, because I had based my plans for this year on my growth and my monetization through social media, because without my Facebook monetization being where it was, it really limits what I can do for the horses, and it really limits what I can do at my facility, because the dynamics of things are that the horses themselves are not owned by me. And people can say, yeah, but you and Jacob are together, and you and Jacob have a daughter, and you and Jacob, yeah, but that's not how any of that works. It's not how it worked in the beginning, and it's not how it works now. They are not community property. The horses belong to Jacob, with the exception of a couple of my barrel horses. So what we run into is the horses don't belong to me. The operating capital from another business is tied up in those horses, and those horses come to my facility not because they were purchased for me, but because they were purchased to turn a profit. So 3 things can happen. Either 1, they come to me and I can advertise them to you guys. You find your forever horse. We can help you guys to get that horse started off on a really good foot. Let's float the teeth. Like, you have an equine professional, myself, who can help you to not only pick the proper horse for you, but we can also start that horse's journey with you off correctly. We now offer, and I've told several people this, if you purchase a horse from us and you can pick up in person, I am not completely opposed for you to pick up on a Saturday or something, to where you can come and actually schedule to pick your horse up and kind of get to know it before you load it on the trailer. I would love that. I have some very novice people that have gotten horses home and been afraid to get on them, been afraid only because they really just needed that confident boost of seeing someone else ride it and then them get on it. And while we can help you find a professional in your area, it's also okay to schedule a Saturday pickup and pay the $100, come to the facility and spend an hour and let us introduce you to your horse and ride your horse and let you see, you know, kind of where that horse is. Now, with that being said, if the horses don't sell to you guys, there's two options. Either I can catalog them, and it's really weird because my catalog horses have been bringing thousands of more dollars than what I'm asking for them online. So, Pepper, you know, when I very first bought Pepper, I wanted $3,500 for him. That was a year ago. When I decided to catalog him and put him on the premier sale, I had lots of people reach out. I was asking $7,500. People really honestly acted like that was a lot. They were like, oh, y'all are, and I'm like, this is not a kill pin horse. This is a horse we've put a lot of training in. I sent him to Billings. He brings 10,000, and I received not one but two messages from people whose internet timed out, who offered me money to go in the office and PO that horse. But we already knew the home that bought him. It was the perfect home, literally the perfect home for him. And you can't do that anyway. You can't go in the office and PO your horse and sell it to somebody that calls you. So I am not sad. It worked out perfect. I think the home that got Pepper was the home for him. So I think it was just God's way of making sure that they ended up with him. He has a 10-year-old boy, and he's got a mom that absolutely adore him. So between the mom and the son, Pepper is in freaking heaven. They are sending me updates. Same thing with Edmund. I bought Edmund. I wanted $5,000 for him. He brought $8,000. So fantastic situation. So I am making a lot more money on the horses I catalog. I just wish that there was a way that I could reach more people so that they could purchase the horses directly from me, and it saves them money and it saves me a lot of time. Like, having to go to sales and catalog horses is great because people get to see the horse in person, so they understand like what an amazing horse it is. But it's very time consuming to send people to auctions and to send horses to auctions, especially when I have a Facebook page and I can sell these people the horses off my Facebook and deliver them. And people can say, well, lower your, no, they're bringing more at public auction. Like, they're bringing thousands of more dollars, but I have to pay commission. I have to send somebody. They have to bring more money for that to be feasible because it costs money to go. Like, the Billings trip cost about $2,500 just to go. Now, did the horses make more than $2,500 profit? Abso-freaking-lutely. So it was worth it. And not only did they sell, but anyway, I just want to make sure that today, as we video horses, that everybody knows, like, these horses don't have forever to be on my platform. They're either going to leave my platform for slaughter or other auctions. That's just the way it works. But I hate it because I feel like a little bit of it is because people aren't seeing them. I cannot tell you how many people messaged me that they've never seen that dun horse. And I'm like, that dun horse has literally... We had 5 dun horses. We had Dunny, Diablo, Chico, that sold, but I don't remember what it was. But there were 5 duns originally that came in because everybody kept getting them confused, and everybody in the hate group kept accusing me of selling one or selling the other, and they didn't even have the correct horses. They had them all totally wrong, which is hilarious. So there you go. Alright, you guys, so I am definitely going to be videoing all day. We're just going to try to go through all the pins, try to clean up as many horses as I say clean up. That means kind of go out, assess, bring everything that's not sold up to the front. Unfortunately, feed prices also, like, so I get shadow banned and my Facebook monetization goes down and the feed prices go up. And basically what it means is there's just been a lot of horses that I have not been able to bring to my facility and show you guys. They've had to go directly over to slaughter because I don't have the funds right now to be able to take care of everything properly, you know, like to my standards. And I am going to be really honest, I am a firm believer that if you can't afford to take care of it in a manner in which is to my standards, then it didn't need to come here. So there's been lots of really viable horses that probably could have found a home that unfortunately had to ship directly to slaughter because my facility is only so big monetary wise. Like I can only afford to pay my staff and feed X amount of horses off of my Facebook monetization and off of the money I make, because my agreement with Jacob from 10 years ago when we started this was, if you will allow me to rehome the horses before they ship to slaughter, it won't cost you anything. So as of the point that my hay bill and my feed bill and my staff have gotten to the point that the board money and the Facebook monetization don't cover those expenses, and I start having to be like, hey Jacob, I'm, you know, $1,000 short on my feed bill, or as of that point, I just can't keep bringing horses to my facility and make that gap between what I make versus what this facility makes versus what it costs to just have the horses at my facility to rehome. And people don't understand that. People don't understand the overhead. Like, it costs money every single day that the horses stand at my facility in hay, grain, and labor. Hay, grain, labor. And that doesn't include the, you know, the cost of my property, the upkeep costs, the fencing. That's just, horses cost money every single day. And people say to me like, oh, well, you shouldn't ask people to pay reprieves because you're not a rescue. You're right, I'm not a rescue, but you also have to understand that you also scream from the rooftops that horses shouldn't go to slaughter, and there is no other way to allow more horses to come to my property without having reprieves. Like, if I didn't do a reprieve system where people could pay $150 to sponsor a horse to help pay their upkeep cost at my house, I couldn't bring that horse there. I am at capacity right now financially in what I can feed, hay, and water without having to ask Jacob to start. And people go, well, he's not going to. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care if that makes you mad. He literally buys the horses to turn a profit. And as of the point that they stand at my house and start to take money out of his pocket, they just need to go to slaughter. And that is absolutely what he thinks. And if you don't like it, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care if it hurts your feelings. He doesn't care if you think that's sad. He doesn't care if you're mad about it. He doesn't give a fuck. Oh, well, you feed him then. That's what he's going to tell you. If you don't fucking like it, buy it and feed it. And then when you cry a river and say things like, oh, well, I can't afford it, or, oh, he'll say, yeah, me either. So, and then you say, well, you shouldn't buy it. And he said, yeah, I should, because I could have already shipped it to slaughter and put money back in my pocket. So yeah, I should. That's what I do for a living. That's literally what he's going to say. So then those people take it out on me directly, that's his attitude. They're like, you're a monster, and I'm like, am I though? Am I the monster? And then I'm like, am I the one that's like dedicated the last decade of my life to bringing horses to, you know, to where I spend an insane amount of time evaluating them, trying to find them homes. Listen, you guys, I've told y'all more than once, if y'all need a hug, just say so. You don't have to jump in my lap off of my dash. Just say, Tara, we need a little attention. Sometimes I need a little attention too. Sometimes. Somebody the other day got fucking pressed about the way I drink out of a water bottle. Sent a fucking message calling me a whore and told me that I suck on my water bottle like a dick. So when I tell you that I get some hate messages on social media from crazy ass people, just fathom that. I hope that person's watching this. Literally. They were like totally fucking bent out of shape over the way I drink out of a water bottle. I mean, that's when you know that you like are not a normal human being. Like, you're not. And then there's people that are like, you cuss too much. And I'm like, you're a fucking adult. And this is social media where you're supposed to be at least 15 years old to hang out. I love when they're like, my grandkids are in the background watching you. Ma'am, put on Peppa Pig. That's what I do for my child. Why are you cutting your children loose with a horse trader on social media to occupy them? Like, no. I love when they say things like, but my grandkids love horses and they want to watch you. I'm like, ma'am, there's a thing called Saddle Club. Go on YouTube and find it. It is child friendly. Hey, I'm live, but do you need something in particular? Okay, well, I am right around the corner, so goodbye. Oh, we need to. Okay, so long story short, feed. So when in December, feed was like $17.95, $18 a sack. Yesterday when we bought feed, it was $25.88 a sack. So it's gone up over $8 per sack. So you have to remember that $8 per sack times 40 sacks adds up really fast. So basically it's $320 a ton more than it was when my monetization got limited. And I'm just having to limit the amount of horses that I bring to my facility because I have to be able to take care of them to a certain standard. The staff that I have now is the best staff I've ever had. They're my team. They're not even staff. That's my fucking family. That is my team. They are fantastic. I could not replace them. I love every single one of them. And I'm very grateful. Jackie and Tylen and Emma really do the horses. Lacey, unfortunately, is back in the hospital, so you guys say a prayer for her. Cheyenne is still not able to come back, and you know, both of those people had health complications when they started. And Jerry's been on and off because he's been having to visit Lacey. So the other three have really picked up all the slack and done a fantastic job, and they really deserve a round of applause. But anyway, this morning as I get going to the barn, please remember I am going to be live today evaluating horses. And what I really need for you guys to do for me, and this is, I'm asking nicely, I need for you guys to like the videos. I need for you guys to comment, even if you just leave an emoji. And if you can, please share on your Facebook. There's lots of kill pin groups. There's tons of them. If you will please just share the horses, you can share them in any of the like kill pin rehoming groups, you know, horses for sale in Texas, things like that. So it is a big increase. My hay went from it was about $70 a bale delivered to $90 a bale delivered. My hay that I feed is tested. We have the protein, the mineral count. We know exactly what's in the hay that I feed. And because we buy hay that comes from one grower and all year long, it comes from one place and it has certain nutritional values so that I can guarantee that the horses are getting what they need. It's expensive, and I can't just buy cheap hay down the road. And I had somebody say the other day, just throw cheap hay bales out. What's the state going to do? Come and take the horses? And I'm like, what? Like, this has nothing to do with like state law. Like, I'm not doing the bare minimum. In fact, I'm doing the most. Like, and I'm talking about another kill buyer. They were like, I just buy the cheap shit. Like, it was a kill buyer that lives local. And he was like, yeah, I just buy the cheapest shit possible. He's like, as long as you have hay out, the state can't take them. And like, I just fucking got so, like, I was like, no! Like, if you're gonna make a living off of horses, the least you can do is, like, respect them. Seriously. And buying the cheapest fucking hay possible and putting it in front of them so the state can't take them away from you is, like, the most white trash, limited mindset. And that's just not me. Like, I don't do things like that. And I don't care what other kill pin standards are. I don't hold myself to that standard. My horses are taken care of at my facility like privately owned horses. I buy $90 a bale hay. And it is absolutely tested. We know how much, it's 14.8 to 16.2% protein. We know like all of like the mineral and calcium and phosphorus ratios. We know everything. We know everything. And then we have older horses outside that are supplemented like extra. So we have most horses on my facility have free choice hay, and they're fed once a day because, you know, we're reintroducing grain. We don't know what their diets were before. But I have some older horses and some big horses, some draft cross horses that have to be fed twice a day to maintain them. And that's just what we do. I mean, we just care for the horses at my facility to a better standard, and it's not free. I could make way more profit if I would just put whatever hay I could find out so that by state law, it's the bare minimum. And I'm not doing that. And I think that that's what pisses me off the most about people that want to expose or talk shit. Go talk shit and go expose the kill pins that aren't doing better. Go talk shit and expose the ones that literally are doing the bare minimum and don't give a fuck. Go do that. You're just focused on me because you're jealous old fucking bitches, let's be honest. And they can say, well, we don't like the way you do business. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. I have a buyer's guide and I am upfront about how I do business. So if you don't fucking like it, then don't do business with me. But saying that you think, it doesn't matter. I mean, just like the judge said the other day whenever I went and turned in all my paperwork on the horse that's been at my house since January that the lady has not paid board on and has now decided she wants a refund after owning it for months. Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. So, it just doesn't work that way, you guys. It just doesn't work that way. You don't get to decide after the fact that you don't like the way that I run my business. It's upfront. So, I had somebody say the other day, well, I'm sorry, I won't buy a horse if I can't, you know, take it home and do a test ride. And I'm like, okay, well, good luck finding somebody that will let you do that. Like, oh, well, they will. And I said, okay, perfect. So do it, fine. But it's not going to happen at my facility. So it doesn't matter what your standards are at my facility. Obviously, we do things to my standard. And the quality of care and the quality of staff that I have are unbelievable. But with that being said, it still is what it is. And I don't know how to explain that to people. Like, yes, Jacob buys horses for slaughter. Yes, we have lots of great traders. Yes, there are lots of amazing horses. But regardless, I'm going to take care of them the best of my ability. But I also need for the horses to be seen by the public, and that's a little bit of what is happening. I will say that I was shocked, honestly. I was truthfully shocked. Truthfully shocked. Honestly. At how many people messaged me about Two-Step, and they were like, what's the black horse? He's been on the website and on my Facebook for over a month. And people are like, oh, I never saw him. Like, he's exactly what I'm looking for. And now he's consigned. And I'm like, and I will say that photographs are being, I guess, pushed out where people see the photos, but they're not seeing the videos because the photos aren't monetized and the videos are. So Facebook is limiting my monetized content, not my free content. So today we are going to bring the horses up, video them, take photos, blast the photos out. But I do need for you guys to like, comment, and share, because the horses can't find homes unless people see them. Like, it doesn't matter. That's the next thing. It doesn't matter what my policies are. People still will buy them. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't matter what my policies are. People still will buy them. And it doesn't matter how great of care I take of them if people can't see them. So it's not on my end, I guess. Like, the horses are getting taken care of. Really, really, really good. My staff is fantastic. And my policies have always remained the same. So no matter how much you bitch and complain about the way that I do business, there's tons of people that don't mind my policies. With all of that being said, you have to remember that if people don't see the horses, they don't know they're here to know that they need homes. Jerry, you've got to get the fuck out of my way. Thank you. Sorry. Do you ever feel like just being like, get the fuck out of my way?
Yeah, that was me this morning when I read your text at 5 o'clock.
There.
I'm like, get there early. Fuck! I gotta go.
Bear said him needs out. Bear needs to be mean to Tip. It's a whole... He just woke up this morning and he said that he was ready for Wet Blanket Fight Club. That's what I told Jacob it's called.
Or a Peckerwood Club.
I told Jacob that Bear and Tip are Wet Blanket Fight Club. Look at them. They're the neediest. I mean, neither one of those, if any dog in America were to really run at them and bow up, they would fall down and piss. But then they want to like fight each other. But the only reason they're fighting is because they're both fucking wet blankets. They are wet ass blankets. Boy, he looks fantastic. Was he down this morning? No, you just got him up.
Just got him up to do his meds and all that.
I haven't seen him down since we trimmed his feet. So
Neither have I.
yeah. So we went from being down and don't want to live to
We got effort now.
The only reason I don't want to blister him is because of the heat. Like, I'm a big fan of blister. I am.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I busted the shit out of my leg yesterday.
Yeah, no, I know that she said we could blister that tendon, but with the heat and standing in the hay bale, the flies come up and they get on where it scurfs, and then I'm worried about cellulitis and secondary. The vet had recommended blistering his tendons, which, I mean, is a normal practice. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the psycho one day, like, on Facebook, like, bashing you the next day, like, hey, I'm broke and need money. I'm not. Yeah, we actually need to figure out, okay, so they only have 13 bags of Omeline 200.
We were just trying to
So we
figure out.
probably need to... No, one bag of feed is going to feed one pin. No, I called to see about Henderson. The problem that I had yesterday is as I was calling around to all the feed stores, and I was like, hey, like, I'm in a little bit of a bind. Like, the place that we order our feed doesn't get their truck in until Monday, but, like... And he was like, oh, and I was like, well, we buy, like, 8 pallets at a time, so... Like, I mean, we're just 4 or 5 days, you know.
We're right there on the cusp.
Right on the cusp. But everybody's saying that feed is so high that they're not keeping any extra. They're only ordering what their current customer base needs. So I'm just gonna, I think Longview, I found a place in Longview that's kind of a big feed store, and we may just have to take my truck up there and buy a ton. Like, just buy 40 bags. But I have to find 40 bags first. It's actually really crazy. We are down to 13 bags of feed, which will basically get us through this morning, period. 13 bags of feed we'll do this morning. No, it won't. No. I don't know that 13 bags will feed both barns and the outside.
Our barn's complete. Is your barn complete?
How many bags of feed are left? Well, come here, sir. There's 8 bags left after we fed both barns. So it took 5 bags to feed the barns.
Well, and I had a bag in there, so
that was 14. So it took 9 bags to feed everything up here. And that leaves 8 bags for the outside. And I don't think 8 bags will feed the outside one time. So we probably can see if Henderson... Did you see if Henderson had any Omeline 200, or we haven't done that? Well, let me call and see. I may be fixing to send y'all to Longview just to buy 1 ton. Yeah, Tylen and I just discussed it. We just didn't want to get to Saturday when most places were closed and be scrambling. So I think we could make this feed stretch today, but we need to already be concerned about the weekend. Because Monday I can go get 8 tons. But they're not going to have it in until Monday. So we're like at that moment where I'm having to Tractor Supply Omeline 200. Omeline 200? She says horse feed, and I'm like, they have 9,900. Threaten me because I keep being told, you were never my friend. If you were my friend, you would let me. No. It's all fuck no. All right, you guys. So we are going to try to. Yeah, I mean that's just what I'm finding is people aren't keeping anything in stock unless what they know they have sold. Yeah, we can call. Let's. Jake's in Longview.
3 hours or 2 hours away.
Well, Jake's in Longview, I was told probably has extra inventory to get us through Monday. All right, you guys. So here's the deal. We are going to get our day started. We've already fed breakfast. Now we just need to round up dinner and outside feed. So they're going to do that while Tylen and I start to ride. And feed prices are astronomical. But I do need everybody to like, comment, and share the horses. So as we video today, please make sure you like every video. Please make sure you comment on every video. In November, my average video was getting between 500 to 800 likes per video. I went back and looked. Right now they're getting 200. So 5 to 800, and then now they're getting anywhere from 150 to 220. And I'm still in an active shadow ban. It still says that my page is limited. It just is. So what I need to do is to continue to make content, but I need for you guys to please step up and help me to like, comment, and share, and just boost the videos out there. When you do share a video, it does not put it in the algorithm if you just hit the share. When you hit share, it gives you the ability to write something. You can write, wow, I follow them and this is an amazing horse. So when you do share it out there, make sure that you write something so that Facebook doesn't look at it like it's a blind share. That's what they call it when you share something without giving any context behind it. So what's going to help my algorithm a lot and help the horses a lot is to actually leave a heading. So, all right, you guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.